Today we will discuss the new topic, that is inner class. So inner class means you know the concept nested loop in the C programming. Nested loop means if a loop is under another loop, then that is called nested loop. Okay. So many programs you've done using nested loop. So similarly, here nested class. Nested class means a class is defined under another class. Then that class is called inner class. The class which is defined under another class, then that class is called inner class, and that concept is called nested class. Okay, one class is under another class. Okay, so here uh, all the classes so far which we have discussed, that is top level classes. So it is possible to define a class inside another class. Okay, and which is also useful. The usual access modifiers which we have used, public, protected, private, which also can be used in the inner class. Inner class concept was not in Java 1.0. The earlier version, it was not there. After 1.0, after 2 version, it has come to this concept is introduced. So they had to be added in later. So that as a result, inner classes are not well done as some other aspect of the language. So how many types of inner classes? There are four kinds of inner classes. One is member class, means a class will be a member of another class. That is simple and useful. Another is anonymous class. Okay, anonymous means anybody can access it. That is called anonymous, and there is no restriction. Useful for, but syntax is little bit ugly. Okay. Third one is your static member classes. Static member classes, you know the static member. So similarly, static member classes. A class will be again a static member of another class. Fourth one is local classes. This is also these two, static member classes and local classes. Concept is there, but it is not useful. So here, every class, when you compile, it compiles to separate .class file. It is the method. If one program contains two classes, suppose normally till now whatever we have done, if a class contains two classes, then for two class there will be two class file, .class files will be generated. So inner classes, that is inner classes, when we will compile the program which contains inner classes, then inner classes compile to file with a dollar in their names. We will see there will be a dollar sign and outer class name, dollar inner class name. So accordingly, that file will be generated. Just see here a program. Just see a program here. The class is your test member outer one. This is your outer class name. This is your outer class name. Under that class, there is a private data member 30 is declared and initialized. The variable is data equal to 30. Then class inner, another class which is under this test member outer one. So inner class, I have given the name inner. Okay, we have given the name inner. So void MSG, this is a method under inner class. So MSG method is printing the data value. And see here, the data member, data variable is defined, declared in the outer class. In the outer class. Okay, so that data, even if it is private, we can access in the inner class method. In the inner class method. So that directly we can use it. Now this the MSG is over here, then class inner is over here. Okay, that class inner is completed here. Then another method, display method. This is member of the test member outer one class. So data is one member of this class, inner class is the member of this class, and display method here also member of this class. Now inside the display method, just see, I am here, it is creating a reference in, that is reference of class inner. This class reference is created here equal to new inner one. So here in object is created. In object is created which is inner type. Then in dot message, in dot msg. So msg function is a public function inside the inner class. So that is here it is accessing. Okay. Now come to this another method. So this main method is also under test member outer one class. So main method, under main method, here see this is your class name of this class name space object name equal to new class name. So here this obj is created of test member outer one. So obj.display. So here obj.display means this display method will be called. From this display method, it is creating one object of inner class, and through inner class object MSG is called, and MSG output is data is 30. Okay, here what we have seen, this is one simple example of creating one inner class under an outer class. Okay, and we have seen the inner class can access the private members also, private member of outer class. See, in inheritance, the subclass or derived class cannot access directly the private member. But here this is not inheritance. This is the nested class concept where inner class can access the private member of outer class also without any restriction. And the other method. So here we have seen the data member, the class is a member, and method, display method. Through the display method, we have created one inner class object, and that through the inner class object, we can call the method of inner class object. Okay, so that inner class method can access the private member. So here we have seen this obj is the object of the test member outer one, and through obj we have called display function, and inside the display function it created one object in, and through in MSG function is method is called. Okay. Now let us see the program. See this program here, the program which we will execute now, test member outer one.java. So just see here, I have compiled the program, the test member outer one.java. So it has created test member outer one.class. And another class created test member outer one $inner.class. So subclass, the inner class name. So directly instead of creating the class dot that class file name dot class name class, here it is created this test member outer one $inner. Means this is your outer class, this is your inner class, and separated by $sign. This is your file name dot class created. But now, if I want to call this, execute the program which will execute that through the Java runtime, that program must contain a main function. So here, test member outer one dot class is containing main method, main function. But test member outer one $inner dot class not containing inner method. So that's why we will call test member outer one dot class. So here data is 30. So see the program. So the output is data is this private member is accessible. So this is one example of using defining an inner class under a outer class. Okay. Okay, again I am repeating here the program here. Local inner one is a class which is the outer class. Under that, data is a data member, display is a method. Under display method, here it is defined one class, that is local class. This is not the member of local inner one class. This is the method class defined under display. And in the previous program, inner class was defined under is a member of test member outer one. But here the local class is defined under display method. And display method is a member of local inner one. And under the display method, it is created one reference or object of this local class. And through local class object, we have called the MSG method. MSG is the method of local class. Okay, so through the local class here it is called. So inside the main, we have called the display method through this local inner one class object, and display method is come to here, and inside the display method, it is creating the reference, and through the reference MSG method is called. Okay, and when we execute the program, so this is your program. When we execute it, so the program execution is like this, 30. Okay, so this is your output. Now let us so here member classes. A member class is an ordinary inner class. This is the example of a member class which we have seen. Okay, that class outer, n is a member, inner is the member of outer one, outer class. Then inside the 10 is another variable. So in set n to 10, that method is the inside the inner class, and 10 is assigned to n. So because of here, because of inner class is the inner class of outer, so the private member directly can be accessible. So n equal to 10. So n value is assigned to 10. Now outside that inner class, set n method is defined, and in the set n, new inner, this directly, instead of creating the object, here new inner dot set n to n. New inner means it is creating the object, that object dot set n to n method is called. So here also we can create object in our space, suppose x, then x dot set n2, set n to 10 method can be called. So a member class can access the variable of enclosing class. A member class can access the variable of enclosing class, which we have seen in the previous slide. Okay, so n can directly accessible here. So in our program, we have seen that data is accessible by the inner class. So member classes are very easy. Declare them where you would declare a field or a method. Inside the class, like a field or method, you can define a member class. Next come to anonymous inner class. Anonymous inner class are convenient for short code. The small codes, it is convenient. Typically a single method. Okay, so b.add action listener. This is event driven program which we'll discuss at the end of this seminar. So their anonymous class will be used very very well. Okay, the anonymous inner class can be either this this is your definition, new superclass within parentheses arguments if required, then body. So this is the definition of anonymous inner class. Okay, or new interface name, then within Coliva's body. Okay, which we will see in the program. So the parent class name, the arguments body, or interface body. Okay, so here notice that no class name is given. Only the name of the superclass or interface is used. Okay, name of the superclass or interface is used. If it had a name, it would not be an anonymous. Anonymous means there is no name. Anybody can access it. There is, the object is not required. Directly through the class, we can call. Okay, through the superclass name, we can call. We write the code. Okay. So the arguments are arguments. The RGS are the arguments to the superclass constructor. If you need to call the constructor, then arguments you can pass. So see here a program. There is an abstract class person. Abstract class person. Abstract class means there are the methods which are also abstract. So here this person abstract class having a method that is it, and that method is not defined because it is abstract method. Abstract class cannot be instantiated, already you know it. Okay, only it can be used by another child class. So here class test anonymous inner, this is another class. This is not linked to this. Okay, so test anonymous inner, that class, in the main function, we have created the reference of the abstract class. But this just see person P equal to new person. But as you know, the abstract class does not having any method definition. Now that method is not defined here, but inside the inside this main function, directly instead of creating a reference, when you are creating the reference, person P equal to new person, in that again you can redefine the class method. Here you see it method is declared, not defined, because it is abstract. But inside the test anonymous inner class, we can again define. So here voids eat equal to system out print nice fruits. So this is your eat method is defined. As you know, the if a class is inherited, then we can use it. Now here see that person is not inherited. Person is not inherited. Just see here, person class, which is an abstract class, is not inherited. And till now, you know, only the abstract classes is used when we will inherit it. But remember here, there is no inheritance concept applied. But inside another class, so this is called anonymous class. So here, without creating the here the any other class, we have created one reference p that is referred to a person, and that method is here defined, void it that nice fruits. Okay, so that eat method is called here. So eat method is called inside the main function. This is when it is declared. So eat method is called at the time of declaration. So output will be nice fruits. Okay. Now let us see this program again. This program, test anonymous inner. Okay. So in the test anonymous inner, there is a that this is your class name, and another class is created test anonymous inner $1. Okay, because there is no, so this test anonymous is the parent name and $1 is the, because this is the subclass class name. So now we will call Java test anonymous inner. So output is nice fruits. Just see the program here. Here the anonymous reference is created, but after class cannot be instantiated, but it is directly reserve the space, and eat method again redefined. So output is nice fruits. So this is about the test and this anonymous class. So in the previous program, here we have used abstract class. Now just we change it. The instead of abstract class, we create the interface. Interface also just like abstract class, but abstract class can have the concrete method, but interface does not have any method. So interface always depend upon others. So interface enough eatable is the class interface name. Inside that void it is there. Okay. Just see here, only this abstract word is not there, and interface is directly written here. Then in the another class, test anonymous inner one class, that main method is going to redefine. Eatable, this class dot space e is the reference, new eatable. Public void eat method is defined. Then this is the semicolon, means eat method definition closed here. Then e dot eat, e is the e is the here is the data type, is the object or reference of eatable class. So e dot eat is called here. So nice fruits output will come. Then static member classes. The definition is like static class, static members. Static means which is said by all other references, all other objects. So a static member class can access only static variable of the outer class. If outer class having any static data member or static variable, then it can be accessed by the static member class. The static member class is not really an inner class, but top level class that happens to be written inside another class. Static member classes are not too useful. This is for only knowledge we will see. Okay. Now, local class, next come to local class. Local class is a class defined inside a method. We have seen the program here. This is your local class, which is defined under a method. The class is defined under a method, and a local class is a class defined inside a method. So, like any other local declarations, the class declaration is available only within the method. However, objects created from that local class can escape the class by being assigned to non-local variables. Directly you can assign to the non-local variables. Because its instances may exist after the method exit, the instance may exit after the method exit, code in the local class cannot be accessible variables declared in the method unless they are declared final. This makes them practically useless. So there are many other restrictions in local classes. So today we have discussed about the different and the inner class, or you can say the nested class. Inner class also called nested class. The class is answered under a class. So member class we have discussed, that is anonymous classes we have discussed. And useful, this is for useful for listener. We will discuss again this inner class and anonymous class again when we discuss the events topic, event-driven programming in object-oriented programming. So which it is full access to the variable of the enclosing class. Static member class we know defined inside the another class, but act like a outer class. Local classes, which is defined within a method, can access final variables in the enclosing class. So here we have discussed about the inner class or nested class. So today we will continue this and we will discuss another small topic, that is wrappers. Okay, wrappers. Wrappers means there are some predefined classes are there for your basic data types like int, float, char, double. So for basic data types, which are primitive data types, for that also there are some predefined classes are there. That is called wrapper classes. Okay. So wrapper class. So wrapper class in Java provides the mechanism to convert primitive into object and object into primitive. Okay. So autoboxing and unboxing feature converts primitive into object and object into primitive automatically. Autoboxing means automatically convert. Unboxing means again from object to primitive type. Okay. The automatic conversion of primitive into object is known as autoboxing, and vice versa, unboxing. Unboxing means from primitive to here, primitive to object. Another is objective to primitive. So primitive types are these. Suppose Boolean is the primitive type. Here you see wrapper class name is Boolean. Capital B is there. Char is your primitive type. the wrapper class name is character, C is capital. Byte, wrapper class name is byte. Short, wrapper class name is short. Int, wrapper class name is integer. Long, and wrapper class name is long. Float, wrapper class name is float. See here, all the wrapper class names starts with the capital letter. Double, wrapper class name is double. So these are called wrapper class, means these classes again redefined. Okay. So we'll see one example of wrapper class. See this program. Here, the program contains the main function int a equal to 20. So here you see integer I, integer wrapper class is used here. Then I is the reference of integer wrapper class equal to integer dot value of a. Value of a is a method which convert it get the a integer value and assign to I. Okay, so but in Java automated, so this is called what? This is called the primitive to object. This is called auto boxing. Okay, next object to primitive. Object to primitive is called unboxing. Okay, integer j equal to a. Integer j equal to a. A is primitive, again it is assigned to j. So both are same. That is auto boxing. Now it is explicitly we are converting into the integer. So this is called auto boxing. Here if you write I equal to a, then it is called auto boxing. So auto boxing, now compiler will write integer dot value of a automatically. This thing automatically will do. So instead of writing this, automatically it is. So this concept is called auto boxing. When we convert the primitive data type to the wrapper class type object, that is called auto boxing. So here data values are pending. Wrapper example 1, let us compile and execute it. So output is 20, 20, 20. Here this is the program. Output is a value is 20, I value is 20, j value also 20. So automatic, this is called auto boxing. Okay. So what is auto boxing? You have to define. When the class, when the primitive data type is converted to the wrapper class automatically, then that is called auto boxing. Okay. Next, come to unboxing example. In unboxing, then see here, there is a integer a in that 3 is assigned directly to integer a. In the previous program, a is 20, that is int. So here 3 is assigned to a. So this is your when we are creating the object of the class. Integer class is there. So from integer class we are creating the integer object. So now int I equal to a dot int value. So this is explicitly converting this to int value to I. If you write int j equal to a, so j is your primitive type, a is your object or the instance. Okay. So when we convert to a class object to enter the primitive data type, then that is called unboxing. Okay. This is unboxing concept. So when unboxing is applied, so automatically int value is executed and done the rest. So this thing and this thing, there is no difference. So this is explicitly it called the function, here implicitly it called the function. So when implicitly call the function, where to convert the wrapper class to primitive type, then that is called unboxing. So here unboxing, that value is again that 3, then here I is 3, then j is 3. Now let us example wrapper example 2. So output is 333. This is about our wrapper class. So what we have learned, wrapper class means when means for every the previous predefined the data primitive data types, there are some wrapper classes are there. Wrapper class having some methods also there. So when it is automatic converting from the wrapper class to primitive type, then that is called autoboxing. When it is converting from primitive type to wrapper class type, then it is called unboxing. Okay, so autoboxing and unboxing. These are the two concepts are used. Okay, so wrapper to primitive, this example which we have seen, primitive to wrapper. So today we have discussed these two topics. One is your inner class, another is your wrapper class. Two topics we have covered today.